The purpose of the Authentic Assessment assignment is to give you experience observing and documenting children's development using anecdotal notes and then being able to take that observed data and input it into a formal assessment program. The formal assessment program that you will be using for this project is the Core Advantage Assessment. The Core Advantage is the assessment tool that high-scope programs use as the information in the assessment aligns with the key developmental indicators from high scope. All of the information for this project can be found on Blackboard under the Assignment Resources link on the menu board. Let's go look at this information now. Once you click into the Assignment Resources link, you will see that there are two separate folders of information. You will need to access the folder that says Authentic Assessment. Inside of this folder is all the information you will need for this project. Let's take a look at each of the links inside this folder. The Milestones and Action link is where you will find all of the observation videos and photos to use to document the information and create your anecdotal notes. Let's click into that website so you can see what is available to you. As you scroll through this page, you will see that there are various age groups to choose from. You are only allowed to choose from the 3, 4, and 5-year-old age groups for this project. Let's click into the 3-year-old link to see what is inside. Once inside the link, you will see that there are a variety of photos and videos for you to look at to gain the necessary information to create your anecdotal notes. When looking at the top of this page, you will notice that there are 4 different tabs to choose from that detail developmental information in each of those domains. These tabs will make it easier for you to determine which areas of development you are looking at within each of the videos and photographs. Those tabs include social emotional, language communication, cognitive, and movement physical development. Again, all of these tabs make up all developmental domains, so you will have a well-rounded view of child development. If we were doing this project in an actual classroom observing real children, I would have you focus on only one child and the overall development of that single child, since you would be able to observe that child over a long period of time and see a big picture of his or her development. Since we are unable to do classroom observations at this time due to COVID restrictions, we have to conduct this assignment using digital observations. This method will still allow you to observe, document, and assess child development, but it does so by allowing you to look at multiple children instead of one single child. With that being said, you are allowed to use as many of the videos and photos that you need to complete this project. You also don't just have to stay in one age group. You are free to use developmental information from any of the age groups as long as you choose from the 3, 4, and 5-year-old categories. Going back to the folder, you will see the next link is for the Core Advantage website. You will need to click on this link to go into the login page for that website. You can also see that the login and password information for that website is listed here. Once you are logged into the Core Advantage website, you will see this page. On the left-hand side, you will see a menu bar. You will need to click on the Assessments link. That link will take you to the page where you will be able to access your page to document your anecdotal notes. I have assigned each of you a specific page, so make sure to only input information into your section. Those assigned pages will be listed on the announcements page on Blackboard, and here is a slide of the information as well. I'm going to show you how this works using the AA page. As you scroll down, you will see that it lists the various categories of the key developmental indicators in each of the content areas, so you can easily find where you would like to input your anecdotal notes. There are 8 different categories where you will input data, and for each of those 8 categories, you will need to input 3 anecdotal notes. That doesn't mean that you need to put 3 notes in each section of the 8 categories. It means that within each of the 8 categories, you have to put 3 total anecdotal notes. For example, approaches to learning has 3 subcategories. For that category, you could input 1 note in each of the 3 subcategories, and that would fulfill the requirement for that section. You will see that many of the categories have more than 3 subcategories. For example, social emotional development. So you will just choose where you would like to input your data based on which section is the most appropriate. And know that you don't have to input data in all of those subcategories, since you only need to input 3 total notes in each of the 8 main categories. Let's look at how you will input the anecdotal notes into each section. When you click into your assessment page, you will see as you scroll down that all of the categories and subcategories will be listed. When you want to input data, you just click on that section. When you enter into the next page, you will click on the green plus sign where it says Add Observation. And then click on the option to add anecdote. This will take you to a new screen, and you will input the 1 to 2 sentence anecdotal note in the first box here and hit Save. Don't forget to save your note once you've typed it. Once you go back to the main screen, you will see that your note is included in this section. When you click the back arrow keys up here, it will take you back to the previous screens. When you get back to the first page, you will see there is now a plus sign in the section where I created a note. This will help you as you complete this project to remember where you have already created notes and areas you have not, to ensure that you have completed 3 notes for each category. When going back to that assignment resource folder under the Authentic Assessment folder, you will see there are 2 more folders of information to help you with this project. The Key Developmental Indicators link will give you an overview of all the standards so you can best align your observation data with each of those standards. Remember to use the preschool KDIs and not the infant toddler. The final link in that folder is the information that I posted in the Observation Strategies section on various methods of observation. If you have forgotten how to write an anecdotal note, this folder will give you all of the information you need on that. Just a reminder about writing your anecdotal notes. Be sure each anecdotal record is objective, without emotion or judgment and interpretation, concise, and relevant to that developmental area. A good anecdotal note is 1 to 2 sentences and states only what the child is doing. You can't state what they are thinking or your thoughts about their actions. When you do this, it doesn't make the note objective, as you are making subjective judgments that may not actually be true or relevant to the observation. After inputting the data into the core advantage, you will then interpret and apply that information to make some decisions about the observed children. After your anecdotal notes are complete, you will use that knowledge and draft a paper to describe how you would share this information with families and with professional colleagues to form effective partnerships. Whom would you share this with? What information would be shared? And how would the information be relayed? Make sure this section of the paper is a half-page minimum. Next, you will discuss how you would use this information to build an effective learning environment for the children. Provide specific examples of how the assessment data would be used to make decisions regarding the scheduling, materials, interactions with, and for these children. Make sure this part of the paper is at least 1 page. Also, I will grade your Core Advantage anecdotal notes directly from the website. You do not need to submit them with your paper. This is a big project and will be quite time-consuming, so I would begin working on this as soon as possible. Should you have any further questions regarding this assignment, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here for whatever help and support you may need. Good luck.